What if I told you some of the most jaw-dropping, breathtaking supercars ever built simply vanished from the spotlight? Cars that could have changed automotive history, but instead ended up hidden in dusty garages and forgotten collections. This isn't your average car countdown. These are the legends that burned bright for a moment and then disappeared into the shadows. Welcome to PistonEdge Asterisk. Before we start, hit that subscribe button because here we bring forgotten speed back to life. Now buckle up, we're diving deep into the world's most underrated machines, the 15 forgotten supercars that deserve a comeback. Our journey begins with pure art on wheels, the Talbot-Lago T150C SS Goutte. Born in 1937 France, this wasn't just a car, it was sculpture, motion, and poetry combined. Its teardrop body wasn't designed by aerodynamics alone, it was designed to make people feel. This car won races, stunned crowds, and whispered luxury like no other. But as time moved on, Talbot-Lago faded, leaving this beauty as a memory of when cars were handcrafted dreams. A true masterpiece that deserves a rebirth. From France, we head to Czechoslovakia, and trust me, this one's a brainiac. The Tatra 87 looked weird, almost alien, but it was decades ahead of its time. Streamlined body, rear-mounted V8 engine, and aerodynamics inspired by aircraft. Even Ferdinand Porsche took notes from it while developing the Beetle. This was a luxury cruiser that could hit 100 mph in the 1930s, no joke. It was the car of explorers, scientists, and dreamers, until war and politics silenced its legacy. The Tatra 87 deserves to rise again, not just as a car, but as proof that innovation has no borders. Spain's pride, the forgotten rival to Ferrari. The Pegaso Z-102 wasn't just fast, it was ferocious. Built by a company that usually made trucks, this thing could hit 155 mph in the early 50s. It had a supercharged V8 and a design that could make Enzo Ferrari sweat. But Pegaso built too few, too fast, and too expensive. The world didn't notice, and one of the greatest Grand Tourers ever made faded into mystery. The Z-102 deserves a second chance. Imagine this beauty reborn with modern tech. It'd blow minds all over again. Now we're in the 1970s, where Switzerland decided to go wild. Meet the Monteverdi Hai 450 SS, the Swiss supercar that could have redefined power. Under its purple skin was a 7-liter Chrysler V8 pushing 450 horses, hence the name Hai. The car was sleek, aggressive, and dripping with class. But here's the twist, only 2 were ever made. 2, that's like inventing the perfect chocolate and never selling it. Monteverdi vanished, but the Hai 450 SS remains a symbol of what could have been a Swiss missile the world forgot. Designed by the man who helped create the Ferrari 250 GTO, the Buzzarana 5300 GT Strutta was destined for greatness. It was lightweight, powerful, and faster than most Ferraris of its time. But Buzzarana, the genius behind it, was too ahead of the curve and too stubborn for business. Only a handful were made before the dream collapsed. This car had soul, raw, mechanical, unfiltered passion, something today's supercars often miss. If this car returned today, it'd remind the world what true racing DNA feels like. Here's a wild one, the Vector M12. The American dream of building a Lamborghini killer, but with even more madness. Its sharp wedge design looked like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. And its Lamborghini-sourced V12 screamed like a banshee. But internal chaos and money issues destroyed the dream. Still, if you ever see one, remember, it's not just a car. It's America's forgotten supercar story, one that deserves a louder second chapter. The Italdesign Aztec, a car so bizarre it made people question reality. 2 cockpits, futuristic panels, and the look of a spaceship from the year 3000. Built in the late 80s by design legend Giorgetto Giugiaro, the Aztec was limited to just 18 units, each one a rolling concept art piece. It was so futuristic that the world didn't know what to do with it. But today, in the age of electric hypercars, maybe it's time this twin-seat alien made its return. The Spada Codotronca TS, now this one's sharp enough to cut glass. Built in 2008, it was Italy's forgotten gift to the world, angular, aggressive, and brutally fast. Under the hood sat a Corvette V8 tuned to over 600 horsepower. But it looked like it was designed by a mathematician who loved sci-fi. Sadly, it never got the spotlight it deserved. If this beast ever returned, it'd make even modern hypercars look timid. Imagine a luxury limo with the heart of a beast. That's the Panther de Ville. Built in the 1970s, this car screamed excess. It was long, loud, and unapologetically dramatic, owned by rock stars, movie icons, and millionaires. If Batman ever went to a 1970s disco, this would be his ride. But as time changed, the world forgot about it. Still, the Panther de Ville remains a symbol of bold, rebellious luxury. The kind of madness we need again in modern car design. You think concept cars can't get crazier? Think again. The Lancia Stratos Zero from 1970 looked like it teleported from Mars. It was flat, futuristic, and so low you could literally walk over it. Designed by Marcello Gandini, the same genius behind the Lamborghini Countach. This car was the definition of ahead of its time. It never went into full production, but its DNA inspired a whole generation of wedge-shaped supercars. If there's one car that deserves to return, the Chopin 962 CR, a Le Mans race car for the streets. Built by Australian racing legend Vern Chopin, it was made from carbon fiber in the early 90s. Powered by a twin-turbo Porsche engine producing 600 horsepower. It could hit over 230 mph, insane for its time. But the price, around $1.5 million in 1992. Only 6 were made before the company went bankrupt. It was a masterpiece that burned too bright and too fast. The Bristol Fighter T, Britain's hidden monster. It looked calm and elegant from the outside, but inside. It hit a twin-turbo V10 engine from the Dodge Viper with nearly 1,000 horsepower. It could hit 270 mph, faster than a Bugatti Veyron. But Bristol Cars was secretive. They never advertised, never bragged. The result, one of the world's fastest cars vanished without fame. The Fighter T deserves a comeback, this time loud and proud. The Aston Martin Bulldog, one of the most mysterious prototypes ever built. Unveiled in 1979, it was supposed to hit 200 mph, an insane target for its time. It had gull-wing doors, brutal wedge styling, and Aston's signature class. But only one was made, and the project was cancelled to save costs. That one car disappeared for decades before being rediscovered and restored recently. The Bulldog wasn't just a car, it was a symbol of ambition cut short. The Istra Imperator 108i, a handmade German rocket built by a single man. Based on a secret Mercedes concept, it featured gull-wing doors and a roaring V8 engine. Every car was custom-built, no mass production, no compromises. It was exotic, mysterious, and pure automotive art. But being hand-built and expensive, only around 30 were ever made. It's the kind of car that makes you stop and stare. A ghost from the past that deserves to live again. And finally, the Sbarro Challenge I. Built in 1985 by Franco Sbarro, the man who treated car design like an art experiment. This machine looked like something from a video game. Wide, aggressive, and packed with radical engineering ideas. Esbarro's creations were wild and fearless, and this one was his statement of power. It might have been misunderstood then, but today it would be a viral legend. These 15 machines weren't just cars, they were stories. Stories of passion, ambition, and dreams that outpaced their time. Each one deserves a second life, because legends like these don't die, they just wait to be rediscovered. Which one would you bring back? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Because here on *PistonEdge*, the forgotten legends roar again.